Hello, greetings and salutations. This is Pandora the Eclectic, and first off, I want to apologize for not, talking too much. After not doing a whole lot lately, it's been, and I know I missed the last few video, video chances I've had, so I apologize for that. But I'm gonna try to make some more. And yes, I have heard of the YouTube stuff that's been going down. Yeah, that's gonna be a separate video, okay? Just let you know. But let's first do one that I just. Why? Just why? Okay. Okay. And you can kind of thank Varian for this almost. He's yeah, as you can see, he's done so many downloads. But yes, Varian. Uh, uh, oh my god. 9 minutes, my good friends. 9 minutes, that's all I ask. I'm sure the video is going to make it seem longer. Don't leave, please don't. Keep you here. Please.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining Andrew Marlowe TV. So I do apologize for not uploading the past 2 days. That's actually pretty rare for me. I've just been super busy at work.
Huh. This is interesting. A minute. Sorry about this. Let me stop this. Okay.
Super busy answering comments and what have you. So let's get straight into the topic of this video. We've got an awesome question from a YouTuber named Short Curvy Vegan. Thank you so much for this question. And the question goes as follows. What about a video on your thoughts about the way society makes women feel about their menstrual cycles? That's either gross, unclean, or some sort of medical condition that shouldn't be talked about. And how many are ashamed of it instead of it just being a natural process for our bodies that almost all women go through? You came to the right place because...
Okay, I'd start off with a question myself. That's not a good thing. We're only about 38 minutes in. No, seconds. 38 seconds in. First of all, where does it say a woman is shamed? What part of our society says that? It's more often than not, women will get upset on their periods, and sometimes, that's just a bit of a poem, toning down or calming down. But that's not shame. I think it's usually just, maybe I would avoid that person. I'm ashamed of. Avoid. Okay?
Because I'm super passionate about a woman on her menstrual cycle. I'm not going to sit here and claim to be an expert about the menstrual cycle. I don't know exactly what's going on inside of a woman's body when she's having her menstrual cycle.
Okay, my good Marlo. So, all you have to do is just go to Google, type in period, and you'll find out. Okay? It's basically that. Sorry. And it can vary from person to person, obviously. But yeah, you just Google and you find out. Let's get to it. You love it so much, you better learn about it.
know from my past relationships and just from my fascination and my passion for women in general, this topic just really excites me because I think it's interesting. And I think going back to Short and Curvy Vegan's question, the way that society has sort of perpetuated the menstrual cycle, it's almost like women have been burdened with this idea that it's somehow gross or that it's somehow unnatural or it's somehow not right that they have their menstrual cycles. That's completely the opposite. A woman's menstrual cycle is amazing.
No. I don't, again, nobody is doing that. If anything, it's not whether a woman is right or not. It's more that we get so over emotional to the point where it's a little hard to deal with a person like that. Well, say, okay, calm down, knock it off. That's what it is. It's the behavior of the person upon their period. That's what it is. 9 times out of 10.
Perfectly natural, and it's amazingly wonderful. And I would encourage any of the men that are out there watching this video to be open-minded to connect with the woman that you love on her menstrual cycle, because it's going to put your relationship to a whole new level of trust and bonding and just overall passion and overall respect. If we look at the way that society and the way that a lot of men sort of view a woman's menstrual cycle, it's really unfortunate because I think women, they need that love and respect. And
Sweetie, it's not just men who have problems with it. There's other women who have problems with it too. Mainly the women who are on it, as well as just having to deal with a woman like that from the get-go. Okay?
Support system during their menstrual cycles. I mean, for lack of a better word, the woman is sort of losing her ability to reproduce, and that's a grieving process. And
God. Oh, Lord have mercy. No, sweetie, what it is it's a result of probably excess estrogen. Also, just it's painful, exceedingly painful. I don't think you have any idea. Well, of course, you're a male, but it's kind of like, no, sweetie, this is neither to be glorified nor demonized, but naturally it's going to get demonized if you're one of those types of women who react in a certain manner when you are on your period. Okay? It happens. It's going to happen.
I've often said this to a lot of different women in my life, that if I could, I would take their periods for them, and it's because I want to feel what that's like. Having a female inside of me, it kind of sucks that I can't exactly feel.
Having a female inside of me? I have to ask, are you trans? Because that's the only way you can still have a female inside of you. Okay, yeah, continuing.
What a woman feels like to have the menstrual cycles, to have all the the mood changes and the physical altercations, the pain, the cramps and the bleeding and the vomiting. So if I could, I know it sounds crazy, I would put myself in that woman's shoes so I could feel what that feels like to actually be a woman. Because in essence, having a menstrual cycle, the main features of being a female, obviously, every woman gets her period. So I'm not exactly sure why this.
Well, actually, there are some odd cases where it doesn't happen. I don't know why, but usually they have those when we get surgery done. So I don't know if that's just maybe they're supposed to get it, and well, yeah, or they're not supposed to get it, and maybe, but I don't know. But 100% myself, but I definitely think, like, yeah, if you wanted to be on your period, be on a period, sure, you do that.
Ideology has sort of popped up in recent years that women should be sort of shunned and women are not good enough while they're on their periods. In my opinion, it's the exact opposite.
Shunned? No, so we don't typically shun women when they're on their periods. Usually we avoid or stay away from them. Because I, even being a woman, and actually currently on her period, I would stay away from a woman who was on her period. Because unfortunately, some women are mean on their period. Very, very mean because it's a physical pain and it's constant change and moods and all that stuff. And so, yes, they say and do things they typically normally or don't mean at all. Oh, and so I want to stay the fuck away from them too. And this is coming from someone who's been on her period the last 3 days. So, yeah.
There's nothing unnatural about a woman's period, and I think society tries to do their best with advertising and female hygiene products.
Okay. Wait a minute. What did he say? I'm sorry. Natural. Oh, yes. Yes. There are a lot of things that are natural. And there's a lot of things that are natural that we usually want nothing to do with. Like, for example, you sweat. That's natural. And that smells bad. I we both have, we both shit. That's natural, but wouldn't want to touch yours, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to touch mine. But, it's kind of like, yeah, there are certain things that are perfectly natural, but we usually avoid because no thank you. And also, with germs and other diseases, which he's going to bring up later that I was going to talk about later in the video. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Products in chocolate and all this kind of superficial stuff to try to help women cope a little bit better emotionally and physically during their periods, but they're not really particularly making women feel better about themselves on their period. Now, obviously, every woman's got a different type of mindset.
I don't know about that. I'm sorry. If I wasn't wearing my pad right now, or any pads, period, that's good. Anyways, if I was not wearing the pad, I currently have my underwear right now. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be sitting in this chair. Heck, I would probably be standing 9 times out of 10. We'd have to figure out how I could lay in the bed, So, yeah, I'm glad I have those. Chocolate. Well, even though I don't like chocolate, I understand certain hormones make certain people want certain foods. So, yeah, I tend to like more saltier foods, but yeah, when someone's on their period, they go through a phase of, oh, I want food, I want this food, and it increases those cravings, and so naturally, I think she's going to go after either something sugary, like chocolate, or salty, like chips. It's probably not a very good idea and to do it all the time. Heck, actually, I would suggest more exercise if you want to do that. Because what he did was kind of sweat everything out for me, but that's about it. Oh.
A different type of reaction when they're on their menstrual cycle. I mean, I remember my mother would say that she loved her period because she just felt all these different emotions. She felt almost stronger to a point, even though she was physically weak. Her spiritual level and her mental level was sort of elevated during the menstrual cycle. And I think it's important for women to sort of.
Well, yes, this would be known as being stressed out. Normally, when someone is on their period, it's not so much like they become stronger. Now, maybe they become a titch bit stronger, but not by much. Because it might be due to adrenaline levels have been risen because they're in a state of that constant hormonal instability. Possibly, it's not entirely true, but when you really think about it, that may be due to a reason why somebody might be thinking that way. Okay, but yeah, she didn't become stronger. She's just in a state of, well, basic insanity. By the way, I also think it's really odd that unless your mother was telling you about, unless you had asked her about period, not her period per se, but when you get a period or something. I think it's really odd that she was telling a little boy about you and her and her period. What the fuck? Really?
Sort of maybe look at it like that. I remember reading a lot about different religions and how women were treated during their menstrual cycles. A lot of ancient Native American cultures would almost the women would be sent off to sort of, be on their own during their menstrual cycles to sort of spiritually grieve so they couldn't, sort of like infect, their local families or communities or other women that were not on their menstrual cycles with their sort of corrupted menstrual cycle energy. And from my point of view, I don't think that's.
Well, first of all, this is probably during a time well before we even had any of the stuff we have now. That women use or had to use to help with their period. So, yeah, they did that because, one, that blood was probably most likely going to attract wolves and other things to the village. So, yeah, that's the last thing we wanted. Also, it just smelled probably horrible. It was even better. Not saying I smelled I smelled like a bed of roses or anything than when I was, well, been menstruating, but still.
Right, I think that's cruel. I think it's, I'm not trying to ditch, Native American cultures. I have an enormous respect for ancient Native American cultures, and obviously not every ancient Native American culture did this, but I think that it just goes to show you that ideology that women are somehow, creepy or dirty or need to be sent off somewhere and need to be, dislocated from society or from their loved ones, from their family, from their partners during their period is just it's just not true anymore. You can really stop to think about it. An important thought that just popped in my head is just the fact that we are a product of a woman's menstrual cycle. I mean, a woman, obviously if she's pregnant, she.
Well, not this aspect of the woman's menstrual cycle, because out of fairness, dude, if your daddy wasn't there, which we wish he hadn't have been in some regard, and had not been there to fertilize the egg, it would not have ever become a zygote, and there you go. That's why. So yeah, we kind of need a guy's wet dream and a woman's and a gal's menstrual cycle to be working working together in sync. So, yeah. Yeah, so this is stupid. It's really stupid. So, no. Now, the aspect of the menstrual cycle might be more of trying to, the aspect of that might be more of her being able to push it out because, well, before this point, before she started getting it, her uterus would not contract, almost like it didn't contract. So she could not have a child. Because if she had, she would had to have gotten a cesarean section or a C-section, and had the baby removed from her stomach. That's what would have been done. And I think they did it back then, but it usually ended in, the child dying. When a child died, the mother died. Because she could no longer. Because most of them were done when they were alive and breathing. And, well, yeah, we do it now and do it successfully, and the mother is still alive, but, yeah, it would not, yeah, be a good idea, but no.
She gives birth to you, but when she's not pregnant, obviously when a woman doesn't become fertile, when she's not producing babies, she's going to have this type of menstrual cycle unless she's got some type of physical condition or maybe she's on birth control or something. It's another interesting topic is a lot of women nowadays, they want to get on the birth control, they don't want to have periods, and that's just, I think that's so, a lot of women have reasons for not wanting their periods, obviously, because they have really heavy periods that physically and emotionally drain them, and they bleed so much. Maybe they got medical complications where it's better off that they either don't have a period or maybe have a little bit easier time with their periods. But I think it's just it's almost like cutting off a little part of your femininity. It's almost like cutting off and throwing away a little bit of your what it means to be a woman. I just remember being like a child, and my mother would talk about being on her period, and then as I got older, I had girl.
Again, that's still really weird that your mother is talking to you about her period. I'm glad she's very comfortable, but what? Okay, thank you, Mom. The funny thing is, this is coming from a girl. So, yes, it is very odd, unfortunately. So, yes, thank you, Bearing, for sharing this disease with everybody. No offense. But yes. Yeah.
Friends that talked about being on their period. And it never once crossed my mind to shun these women or to think any differently of these women. If anything, thought more of these women. I revere these women even more because they were going through that sacred, almost sacred ceremony each time of the month. And I knew.
Sweetie, okay, sacred probably more for men, but sacred, no, it's not really sacred as far as I'm concerned. It's not like we're worship. It's like, what are we doing now? Worshipping the goddess Philomena or something? Okay. And yes, I curse. Fuck you, YouTube, and your fucking guidelines. Thanks.
Knew that they were going to need even more of that extra boost of emotional and spiritual love, basically. And I think from my past relationship, I just remember how wonderfully and beautifully and passionate our lovemaking was while my girlfriend was on her period. That's the true dedication of someone who loves you, is that they can be dedicated to you and make love to you on your period. We've got all this stuff in society like red wings and just little stereotypical demeaning things. They're little jokes like that, but they sort of demean the act of men attempting to be physically intimate with the women that they love during their periods. Not all that abnormal.
well, let's put it this way. It is kind of abnormal because there's a reason why I wouldn't suggest women to do that. Unless, I think he brings up that they're married, kind of, but I would never suggest it to a man when a woman and you are just in a, relationship. Okay. Like just started the relationship. Obviously, when you just start said relationship, you don't know this girl. You do not know if she's, not been around with other people, and also you don't know if she may have AIDS. He doesn't even know if she may have AIDS. And some people may not know and contract it, and you might get HIV and other diseases that resulted. And they resulted. So no. Also, it's just
normal for a man to want to make love to a woman on her period. But I think women have this ideology that it's unheard of, it's so uncommon, and I keep saying men, but obviously this could go for a lesbian couple as well. There's nothing wrong with connecting with a woman during her menstrual cycle. It's a
okay, sweetie. Here's the thing. It's one thing to put your penis down there whilst she is, menstruating. It's a horse of entirely different fucking color to put your entire mouth in that area. Just sorry. Just not saying if you're a guy you don't want to put it down there. No, it's just no. I don't care. There's not a condom. There's nothing made of plastic. That no. No.
Beautiful, amazing thing, and as you guys can see, I can't really put it into words because it's just so beautiful and it's so intimate and it's so sensual and it's obviously very sexual as far as the love making is concerned. You really get to feel the essence of the woman that you love. You get when you're seeing her blood, when you're feeling her blood, when you're smelling her blood, when you're tasting her blood, it's almost like
okay, this went from normal conversation that was just a tidbit weird to hello Dracula, how are you this evening? Putting up collar, walking away. Anyways, continue, Edward Cullen.
You're ingesting a part of this woman's essence. She's not any less beautiful. She's not any less sexual or sensual when she's on her period. Maybe if she doesn't want physical contact on her period, then that's her choice. And I would respect that. But I am totally down to be with a woman on her period because I want to feel what that's like with her. I can't really feel it for her because obviously I'm a man and I don't have a menstrual cycle. But it does allow a man to connect a little bit better and to gain a better understanding of what a woman goes through during her period. When a woman is
no, it really, really doesn't. It just no, it doesn't.
On her period, for me, if I'm in a relationship, will constantly cater to this woman's needs. I will constantly study her and not scrutinize in a bad way, but I'm always keeping a careful eye and just absorbing all this information that this woman is giving me about her menstrual cycle so that next time I can better respond to it. Next time I can be more aware of maybe when she's getting it, when her period's going to go. I mean, my ex-girlfriend, I can just remember going to the store and getting pads for her, but I was so in love with this woman that I actually kept one of her blood-soiled period pads. I kept it for about a year and a half after we dated.
Okay, yeah, okay, yep, no, okay, women, Okay, this is the one man I don't care very much about blackballing. I apologize to all men. But this? What the fuck? No. That. No. That is just. No. Sorry. Mm-mm. No. And I kind of see why she left. I think she was smart enough to know what the fuck was going on around here. And left. Good.
For me to let go of this particular woman so much more because we'd connected in her menstrual cycle. And I think it's a little bit risky because for me personally, I get even more physically, emotionally, and spiritually attached. And it makes me worship these women even more if I can connect with them during that special time of their menstrual cycle. So there's really no reason in 2016, almost going into 2017, that we should have any sort of taboo viewpoints or ideologies towards a woman.
Okay, first of all, you can't use his 26 the current year as an excuse to why we don't do certain things. No. As well as you can say for not doing something per se. It's just no. No, what? What?
Woman's menstrual cycle. If it wasn't for a woman's menstrual cycle, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of this camera talking right now, recording this video. And thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And until next time, really embrace your menstrual cycle. It's a beautiful thing, it's a natural thing, and it's perfect.
Yeah. It's really wonderful. Mm-hmm. Yep. You have a great weekend.
Gloriously, amazingly wonderful. We'll see you guys next time.
Sure thing, Edward Cullen. Tell Jacob I said hi. Anyways, well, that was, I don't know. I don't know what that was. All I know is I never want that to cross my, in fact, I'm probably gonna have to watch this screen just so I can say, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, this happened, and, wish it hadn't. Anyways, this is Pandora the Eclectic telling you all to keep it frosty, and, yes, and Autopsy 87 is feeling the Johnson. And keep it frosty. Telling you all to keep it frosty. And I promise I will try to make more videos more often. I didn't have any issues with that.